If you're on Zepbound, Mounjaro, Ozempic, or any GLP-1, and you've seen headlines saying, these meds are causing an explosion of scurvy, you're not alone if your anxiety spiked a little bit. So I saw this article too, and as someone actually on this medication, I thought, okay, is this real? Do I need to panic about scurvy now? So I dug into the research, looked past the scary headline, and I want to walk you through what's actually going on in a calm, real talk way, so you can focus on what matters and not spiral. Please remember, this video isn't medical advice. It's me sharing my own research and personal choices as someone on a GLP-1. I'd love to hear your experiences and questions too, so definitely drop those in the comments. All right, let's start with what this headline actually claimed. A recent Daily Mail study from February 2026 basically said GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro are causing an explosion of scurvy cases. They highlighted a few people who reportedly developed scurvy while on these meds and tied it directly to the drugs. Now, if you're already dealing with side effects, appetite changes, maybe struggling to eat enough, hearing your medication might give you scurvy, that sounds terrifying. It plays right into that fear of, am I hurting my body just to lose weight? So let's pause the panic and talk about what scurvy actually is and what the science really says. Scurvy is not some mysterious GLP-1 disease. It's literally just a severe vitamin C deficiency. You typically have to go weeks to months with very, very low vitamin C intake for scurvy to show up. Historically, we saw it in sailors who didn't have access to fresh fruits or vegetables for long periods of time. In modern developed countries, where most people have access to a variety of foods, scurvy is rare. And when it does happen, it's usually tied to an extremely restricted diet, severe eating disorder, alcohol dependence, or medical conditions that really limit what someone can eat. The good news, it's easily preventable and it's easily treatable once someone starts getting enough vitamin C again. So already, this isn't a new GLP side effect. It's an old, well-understood nutritional deficiency that can happen in very specific situations. Now, here's where the GLP-1 piece comes in, and this is the important nuance. There was a review out of the University of Newcastle study that looked at 41 GLP-1 trials with over 50,000 participants. That's a lot of people. What they found was actually kind of frustrating. Most of those trials didn't even properly track what people were eating, not their overall diet quality, not their vitamins, and not their minerals. So when people say, we have proof of GLP-1s causing scurvy, that's just not accurate. We do not have that kind of direct evidence. What we do have is a reasonable concern from nutrition experts that 1, these medicines suppress appetites, 2, some people eat a lot less, and 3, if what you do eat is low in nutrients, including vitamin C, then yes, over time you could be at risk for deficiencies. Professor Claire Collins, one of the experts quoted, basically said the meds might contribute indirectly by changing how much and what people eat, but there's no proof that the drugs themselves directly cause scurvy. So it's not take a GLP-1, get scurvy. It's more like if you're barely eating and what you're eating has very little vitamin C, scurvy could happen with or without a GLP-1. So why did this blow up as an explosion of cases? The big reason is anecdotal stories. You've got a handful of reported cases, and you've got celebrities like Robbie Williams saying he got scurvy on Ozempic. The media takes a few of these anecdotes and turns them into a dramatic narrative, scurvy epidemic. But a few individual stories, even if they're true, are not the same thing as population-level data. And none of that changes the basic biology. Scurvy equals long-term vitamin C deficiency. The path to fixing that is improving vitamin C intake, not automatically blaming one medication as a magical cause. So what does all this mean for you and me as people actually living on GLP-1s? Here's the practical, non-panicky way I'm looking at it. GLP-1s suppress appetite. They don't ban vitamin C. You're still allowed to eat strawberries, bell peppers, broccoli, oranges, or even sip on a vitamin C fortified drink. The medication doesn't block vitamin C from working in your body. If eating's hard for you on this med, think about quality, not just quantity. If you're only managing a few bites a day, and those bites are mostly beige, low nutrient foods, like a meat or something, then yeah, over time, that can set you up for deficiency. But that doesn't mean you're doomed. It just means let's be intentional. Simple prevention goes a long way. Try to include at least one source of vitamin C most days. That might be a small portion of fruit, some veggies, or even a smoothie. If whole foods are tough right now because you just took your shot, talk to your healthcare provider about whether a basic multivitamin or vitamin C supplement might make sense for you. If you're worried about your nutrient deficiencies in general, this might be a good time to ask for a referral to a dietitian who understands GLP-1s. Someone who can help you build a way of eating that works with your reduced appetite, but still gives your body what it needs. So let me pause here for a second. If you appreciate someone actually digging into the science and not just repeating scary headlines, it would really help my tiny but mighty little channel if you could hit like and subscribe. I share my own Zepbound journey, the research I'm doing, and the practical things that are helping me stay healthy on this medication. So anything that you could do would help as well. So back to it. Here's the bottom line if you want to walk away with it. You do not need to panic that your GLP-1 is secretly giving you scurvy. The real story is about nutrition, not a brand new horror side effect. Yes, these meds change your appetite. Yes, that can mean you eat less. And if what you eat is low in nutrients, especially over weeks and months, vitamin deficiencies, including vitamin C, can become a real risk. But that's something we can work with. Being mindful about including some vitamin C-rich foods, considering supplements if your healthcare team agrees, and having open conversations with your provider instead of suffering in silence because you're scared of being judged. So instead of letting the headline live rent-free in your brain, let it be a little nudge. Hey, how can I nourish my body better while I'm on this medicine? If this helped calm your fears or gave you something to bring to your next doctor's appointment, let me know in the comments. Have you noticed changes in what or how much you eat on a GLP-1? Are you worried about vitamins and minerals? I'd love to hear your experience and definitely put something in the comment. You are not alone in this. And if you want more real talk content about Zepbound, GLP-1s, pricing, side effects, or actual living your life on these meds, please subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for hanging out with me today. And remember, you're not broken. You're learning a new normal. And we're figuring it out together. See you soon.